Now, last time, so you and I were due to speak a little while ago, but apparently we had to postpone because a storm came through. What happened?
Yeah, we had a snowstorm, so that's why I'm not complaining, dude. I fucked up, so I can't really complain if you're on the side of the road, dude. Yeah, no, we get yeah, I'm from Los Angeles, so this stuff is still kind of off for me, but we get snow and when there's a snowstorm here, the whole world kind of breaks down. And so the Wi-Fi with the electricity was out. So the Wi-Fi was out in the same kind of thing. If we don't have Wi-Fi, Zoom stuff,
Yeah.
it just doesn't work. And I was trying to get to the Starbucks because they have Wi-Fi, but the road was closed and it was just a shit show.
Mate, I appreciate that you actually, mate, you were prepared to Starbucks it in order to speak
Yeah.
to me.
Terrible coffee, terrible Wi-Fi, dude, the whole thing just for you.
Oh, buddy. Well, just for you, I literally, as we know, I pulled over this. I've just done the school drop off like 10 minutes ago, and now I've pulled over at the side of the road near my kid's school.
That's
Fortunately,
funny, dude. Sorry, bro.
because I'm sitting in my car with no aircon in Brisbane. So fortunately, it's not terribly hot, or I'd be dying.
Dude, it's hot as hell over there, isn't it?
Oh yeah, subtropics, mate. You're gonna melt when you come here. But
Ugh.
but it's okay because other than that, I reckon honestly, Texas and Brisbane kind of similar.
Similar, right?
Yeah, yeah. Now, guys, as a rap group, I wonder. I think we just witnessed possibly the most well-publicized rap diss of all time. What did you guys think of the whole Kendrick Super Bowl thing?
Oh, with Drake and stuff,
Yeah.
dude. It's funny because I don't even know what's really what they were. I didn't know what was going on. I had to like kind of catch up with everything. I grew up during the era of when the rap beefs between I was really young, but that was when Tupac and Biggie were
Mm.
beefing. I was only like 8 or 9, and then it was Eminem and Beanie Siegel and all those. So you had the West Coast, East Coast, and then Eminem and 50 Cent and what was his name? The guys in New York and stuff. They were
Oh,
all
Insane
beefing.
Clown Posse? Is that Insane Clown?
No, Ja Rule. Ja
That's the
Rule.
one. Hmm.
Yeah, no. Those guys were, so like they were always threatening to kill each other and stuff. But I've always thought that stuff was really just for publicity because no one ever does anything. I mean, obviously Tupac and Biggie both ended up dead. But everybody assumes at this point that was all because of P. Diddy, who's in jail
Mm.
now. So I never know if it's real or they're just doing this to get attention. I have no idea if they actually have a problem with each other. So I always take that stuff with a grain of salt because I know like a lot of that stuff is just to stir up controversy. Because and then you do these guys are not these two in particular, but this happens all the time where they're dissing each other, and next thing they know, they're doing songs together and
Mm.
they're buddies again. And so it's like I don't I have no idea. I don't give a shit.
If someone, out of curiosity, if someone was going to write a diss track about Hollywood Undead, what kind of what kind of barbs do you think they'd have a go at you for?
They'd have a lot of material. I'll tell you that much. It wouldn't be hard, dude. You wouldn't have a lot of digging to do. Uh,
It's all on the surface. Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, dude. It wouldn't be tough. I'll write them for you. I hate those motherfuckers.
Good answer. Mate, how would you describe the process of creating Hollywood Forever? Like, what were some of the biggest challenges?
Due to I don't think it was a challenge. We never written a song like that, or as far as I know, I don't know of any song. The whole idea was we thought of the song so when we go out on the road and stuff, we talk to fans and stuff like that. We obviously everybody does. We have forever, and there's a lot of ups and downs. Sometimes you hate being on tour. Sometimes the business sucks. Sometimes you lose money. There's a lot of shitty things that go on with being in a band, as any band has probably told you. But the one consistent thing is your relationship with fans, and the fact that it always shocks me when people tell us like that we've helped, that we've gotten them through rougher times in their lives and stuff like that. That's always been one of the cooler moments. And one of the things that's kind of always stuck out to us is how much that the reciprocal nature of that. We've never really told them this, but we've always wondered where we would be had it not been for the opposite of that, because we were all in pretty rough spots, and we didn't have anywhere to go, and we weren't doing very well in life. And I don't know how things would have ended up if it wasn't for Hollywood Undead. So we wanted to write something, I suppose, as a response to that, to kind of explain what they had done for us. So it was definitely a different point of view from where we normally write songs from, which is more of a, not selfish, but a first person perspective. You typically, when you write a song, it's about how you feel. This was more about, I guess, like, kind of an introverted sense of what they had done for us as opposed to what we had done for them, and trying to explain exactly how much they had meant for us and how much they've altered the course of my life and our lives in general, and how much that meant to us. So, it was an interesting topic because we'd never tackled it. As far as I don't know if anybody has. So it was fun, and more than anything else. And it was nice to be able to tell our, because we've had the same fans. A lot of them have been around since I've watched these people grow up and get married and have kids and stuff like that. In the same sense, I was 20 when we started, and now these people are the same age as me, and they've got kids and they're married and stuff. And it was nice to tell them, thank you for getting us through all the same things that we got them through, I guess.
Yeah. So you're coming down here supporting Falling in Reverse. I feel like everyone seems to have an opinion about Ronnie. What? How do you guys get along?
Oh, we're cool. I mean, we've done tours with. Well, we've toured with him off and on. Well, we did one long in the U.S. I don't know, 2013. We've known him, through music for a long time. We've done a few tours together. We've, known each other through other people. And Ronnie's an outspoken guy, so typically people always have an opinion on someone who has a lot of opinions, and Ronnie has a lot of opinions, and he's not afraid to share them, as everybody knows. So we've always ran in the same circles, I suppose, but I've always been cool with Ronnie. I respect Ronnie, and a lot of people have an issue with someone who's outspoken. I, on the other hand, don't. I don't care what people, you know what I mean? As long as you're not, there's obviously, there's viewpoints people can have that rub people the wrong way, but that's what the world is. That's what life is. And it's funny because everybody has these viewpoints, but everybody just wants everybody to shut the fuck up about them. And I don't see any point in any of that. So it's like, I feel that discussions are necessary. So I like Ronnie because he stirs the pot, and I think the pot needs to be stirred at the end of the day. Or otherwise, the world's pretty fucking bland, and those conversations. I think he starts conversations that have to be had. Yeah. So I find it refreshing. I'll go to his Twitter page and just read it for entertainment myself because I think it's fucking hilarious. And then some of it gets really interesting. A lot of it gets, some of it gets socio-political, and a lot of cultural issues get brought up, and I find it all pretty interesting. Yeah, people need to be okay with being able to talk to each other. It's ridiculous. And it seems like it gets worse and worse, not better. It's like, what's the big fucking deal? A lot of people have different alternating viewpoints, and that's all. That's never going to change. So you either get used to it, or I don't know what else we could fucking do.
It feels like we're in a strange way now, where not only is everyone walking on eggshells, but I feel like we are deifying everyone. We're putting the people that we like and look up to on these ridiculous pedestals. So if they say the slightest thing that you disagree with, you have to throw the whole thing away. Yeah, you have to throw them all away. Like surely you can take good things that someone has said and just ignore all the, like, you can agree with someone on some things and then disagree with them on a whole bunch of other things. And
yeah,
that used to be a thing.
The whole thing's ridiculous.
Yeah.
No one, I don't think there's a person on earth that I fully agree with or fully disagree with. The whole concept of that is ridiculous. And, I remember I read this whole historical content about Churchill, who's a fascinating character. And, he kind of led England during World War II, but he had some really controversial viewpoints before World War II. And the whole subject is like, hey, this guy's an asshole. Okay, yeah, he was an asshole. But if he didn't really, the Germans would have won World War II without him. So it's okay to admit he's an asshole and admit that the Germans would have won World War II if it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
No, that's not okay to admit. It's like, dude, history and people are complex, and not everybody is all bad or all good. I know this. I mean, I think everybody even knows that firsthand. Sometimes I'm an asshole, and sometimes I'm a good person, and it's dichotomous. And sometimes I hate myself for things I do. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that was good. Dude, we're all like that. And I don't think there's dude, it's just who we are. And it's funny that we expect this stuff from other people when we don't even expect it from ourselves. I don't expect myself to be perfect. Why would I betray someone else for not being perfect? It's dumb.
Yeah. Have
the world we live in, bro.
I know, right? Like,
yeah.
Looking back over throughout the career, because Hollywood Undead has been around for a while, like, has your feelings towards the use of masks changed throughout the lifespan of the band? Like, are you still glad that you went in that direction?
That's funny. I don't think about it much. Sometimes I'm like, there's in a way, I think it would, I really liked it, especially in the beginning, because I thought it really added an aesthetic to it. Like, I love the imagery of it. Yeah, I thought, because masks, like the way I always looked at it, have been used in like performance since the ancient Greeks, those smile now, cry later masks, the ancient Japanese masks. There's something that's scary about them in general, not being able to see someone's features. And I always thought it was really cool. So incorporating it into, like, we're not the first person to incorporate it with music, but it had nothing to do with music. It just had to do with the imagery. And I thought that was cool. But then when it becomes married, that part became like a little more of an irritant, because it was never meant to be like, we wear masks. And that's just like, that was, I just thought the aesthetic was really cool. But when it became married to the songs and they became completely intertwined, which I suppose is our own fault, then it became more of a nuisance at times, because it's like, I just thought it like looked cool and we get to fuck with them and do this cool stuff. But now it's like, oh, you're this band that wears masks, and that was never like our intention. Yeah, although I know other bands, that's their thing, and that was never meant to be a shtick for us. It was more like we just thought it was cool. We used to be like into tagging and stuff, and so we were with hockey. We go down there's a river in LA. It's a paved river where everybody goes tagging, called the LA River, Los Angeles River. We wear a hockey mask when we go tag, so the cops couldn't see our faces, and that was why we wore them to begin with. And so we took these masks that we wore and we tag on them, and we go what we used to call bombing, which is tagging, with spray paint. And that was part of the aesthetic of that, and we just incorporated it into the band. So we just thought it was cool, and then it kind of morphed into something different. But then there's been points where, like, we got to work. This dude who designs them, his name is Jerry Constantine. This guy's been like nominated for Oscars and stuff for his designs. He does a lot of your favorite horror movies. This guy like makes this stuff. He's like a genius. So the fact that I got to do this stuff with him, I'm an idiot. So I'm just like, hey, put this here and this there, and he does it. So he's like really the magic maker. So it's worth it just to be able to sit there with this guy and like him make me this stuff. But sometimes there's definitely points where I'm like, well, this is fucking annoying now. Like, because, that wasn't the intention for us. Whereas there are bands where that was their thing. That was never supposed to be our thing. And, you go to an interview or you go do some, oh, where's your mask? It's like, what? Fuck. This, so it is what it is. But no, it doesn't bother me overall. And then, there are points too. It's like, damn, did it help the band? Did it hurt the band? Who really knows? I don't know how those things really turn. You can get into that conversation. But, I don't really care one way or the other. It is what it is. And we just brought him back for this, the Hollywood Forever thing, because the whole point was that it was a nostalgic song about the fans that have been there for 20 some odd years now. You can't do that without bringing the mask back. That was part of the core objective. So we did it again, which is one thing we never thought we'd do again, but we felt like we were betraying the whole point of it if we didn't. So it was kind of fun to do it again, to be honest. I was like, we hadn't done it in years. And like, we went back with Jerry and did it with the same dude. And that was pretty fun. So, there's still parts I really enjoy about doing it.
Nice. Yeah. This has been rad. Thank you very much for your time today, dude. It was great to finally meet you.
I wanted to tell you that, dude, you remind me of, I don't know if this is just me being ignorant towards Australians, but we were just on that cruise, rock cruise, Shiprocked, and fucking, what is a Parkway
70,000?
Drive? You remind me of Ian, the singer, because he's kind of a big buff Australian guy.
Winston. I
Yeah,
have got
Winston.
that on more than one
Yeah,
occasion.
and I would go work out in the gym, and he was in there a lot. And he's a big ass buff Australian dude, yoked ass. It's cool because they're like a metal band, but they're like what we call them jocks here, and that's what I was, like a football kind of. And it's nice to know there's like metal jocks
Yeah.
other else, because normally they're like skinny long hairs, with the belts and like, we're metal. And
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
get these like metal guys who look like they want to play some football and fuck somebody up, some rugby guys. It's nice to see you guys are out there.
Awesome. All right, mate. Be good to yourself.
Cheers, brother.
Talk to you
Thanks,
soon.
man. Thanks for
Bye.
pulling over.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Cheers, buddy.